My name is Lynn Forney, and I am a dancer, a choreographer, an actor, director, and of course, writer. My latest book is called Choosing Survival: How I Endured a Brutal Attack and a Lifetime of Trauma Through the Power of Action, Choice, and Self-Expression. Ultimately, I had a story to tell. I had a story that needed to come out of me, and by doing so, I truly hope that I can help inspire others to do the same. I know that we're human beings, and by nature, we're storytellers through various forms of art. For me, most of my life, it's been through dance. And back when this happened, I would start to tell the story of it and then just think, I should just write a book. There's so much to this, right? I should just write a book. And I'll be perfectly honest and say that I kind of always thought I could do it. I wasn't sure that I would do it. And as it turns out, I did it. My ultimate hope is to give others the hope and the courage to also share their stories. We all have one, and they all deserve to be heard. And I think there's a lot of healing that can happen through the power of storytelling. I know a lot of us live with a lot of shame or feelings that we're alone, that no one will understand us. And I truly hope that by sharing my story very honestly and courageously, that I give others the power to do the same. Well, being this was a memoir, a lot of it was just researching my memories, of course, but I also did return to things like my medical records from when I was in the hospital, articles that were written about my suspected assailant, and even looking up certain things that I could quote in my book, such as the police being investigated by the Attorney General here in the United States. These are all things that I knew that I needed to back up with evidence, and I was able to do that mainly, again, going back through and researching my own medical records and articles that were written about him. I love writing because it's another way for me to have an outlet for my creative process. I would say I'm a very creative person, and like I said, most of my life has been through dance and choreography, and this was another avenue, another element that I could explore, something that was different, something that challenged me a different way, and also scared me in a way that I hadn't really felt before. Writing is very vulnerable. Using your voice is extremely vulnerable, and I felt very comfortable doing that with my body, but a lot less comfortable doing that with my voice. So at various points in my life, I would say that I have looked for different avenues to kind of push myself, to kind of step out of my own comfort zone, and this was definitely a way to do that. I've always enjoyed writing, especially when it came from a very personal place, and I've always been more drawn to nonfiction writing versus fictional writing, and I just loved the way that it allowed me to have even a different perspective or a unique voice that I hadn't really experienced before. Gosh, I don't know, it's hard to say like, do A, B, and C and you'll do it. But I think the biggest thing that keeps people from doing it, other than time, of course, is fear. It's fear of worrying, will this be any good? Will anyone read this? Will anyone like it? Will I look like a fool? And I definitely had all of those fears and more writing this book. The biggest piece of advice I can give to anyone is to find a way to talk back to those fears. To know that that's just what they are. They're just fears. They're just kind of speed bumps in the road. But if you truly have something to say it. Do it. Find a way to make yourself just do it. And that's pretty much what I did. I'm a very mood-based person, so a lot of times it's hard for me to kind of force myself to write or create when I'm not like in the mood. But I definitely had to kind of push myself into doing it at certain times. But I just kind of got over the fear. I just was like, I kind of almost got tired of myself and listening to those fearful voices. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to trust this process. I'm going to trust myself enough that no matter what happens, I'm going to gain something by putting this in writing. And knowing that it's not for everyone, and that's okay too, but knowing that this is absolutely for someone. And I think with anyone else, with your own writing process in your own voice, it is for someone. Someone needs to hear what you have to say. And that is probably the most important thing, is to return to that knowing more often than not. Someone needs to hear your voice. Someone needs to hear what you have to say. And there's so much healing to be had for yourself and for others by doing this process. My book, Choosing Survival, is currently available on Amazon. It's available in paperback, hardcover, and Kindle. And again, it's called Choosing Survival: How I Endured a Brutal Attack and a Lifetime of Trauma Through the Power of Action, Choice, and Self-Expression.